This is the King's Court on Arena Sportsnet, presented by American Grappler.
I got more swagger than Mick Jagger, more sex appeal than Vince Neil.
All guests from all walks of life share their time with the King of Connecticut.
They are dreaming of just one night with a man such as myself.
Any and everything goes.
I am the King of Connecticut. I was raised with class and sophistication.
And now, from Norwalk, Connecticut, weighing in at 230 pounds, if George Clooney had muscles, they'd call him the King of Connecticut. The one, the only, Matt Granahan.
It is the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity, manipulating the minuscule minds of the masses of miscreants. I am your host, the King of Connecticut, Matt Granahan, and welcome to the King's Court. And once again, we have an outstanding guest with us, and we know she is a little pressed for time, so we're going to get right to it. She is a superstar musician, a reality TV star, a member of the world-famous Jackson family, and she is currently by far the most successful member of the Jackson family, the one and only, the incredibly sexy Tanay Jackson. How you doing tonight, Tanay?
Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, we don't hold back here on the court. You are an incredibly sexy and talented woman. We want to let everybody know that that isn't familiar with you already.
Well, thank you very much.
So we have a mutual friend in common who I was talking to prior to calling you, and he told me some funny stories about how you two met. And I'm speaking of my buddy Sal Franciosa, the star and executive producer of the Fight Value movie, where I have a small role in that movie series. And how do you know Sal, and how did you two meet?
Well, it's a very funny story how we met. My ex-fiance, it was my birthday, and my stylist told me to come to this fashion show. My ex-fiance was a model, and he told me that on my birthday he couldn't see me because he'd be busy. So the fashion designer said, come to this show on the rooftop. And I get there, and here comes my ex-fiance walking in with his sugar mommy.
His sugar mama. What was the age difference between the two?
There was a 20-year difference.
So old enough to be his mama, for real.
Yes. And this woman happened to be, her name was Alisa, and she was the, she's like the head of the health department in New York City or something like that. You know, she has a big job. And she was paying him to be her date because, you know, she's a very unattractive woman. If you ever pull up her pictures on Google, you know, make sure you have your Bible next to you because she's that scary looking. But anyway.
So he was basically a male escort for the evening.
Yes. And I did not know he was doing such a thing. And the thing that kind of crushed me is that it was on my birthday. And Sal had met me there. He was at the party. And Sal saw what I was going through. He said, hey, he said, is that your boyfriend over there? I said, yes, how'd you know? He said, I'm watching everything. I'm watching the whole series. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, damn, that woman sure is hideous. I said, I know. And he left out of there, my ex-fiance. He left out of there with that lady. And before he left, I said, how could you do this to me on my birthday? And Sal sat down with me, and he comforted me, and he took me out to dinner, and he made sure I got in the cab. And ever since that, me and Sal have been very, very good friends.
Sal's a great guy. Yeah, I was just down at his St. Petersburg, Florida beach house, and I sang a little he plays the drums, so we were jamming a little bit in his studio down there, and we were hanging out at Caddy's, which is the local beach bar. Yeah, Sal's a lot of fun. And he said, you know Frankie Blue also?
No, I don't know him.
Okay, yeah, because Sal had mentioned you might know Frank. Well, we don't want to hold you up too long, and I want to sing to you because I have a very special song for you today. But first, tell us about briefly about your music career before we get into your new hit single. Is the main reason we wanted to have you on. Do
you have my hit single?
I've been listening to it. To take it off. I've been listening to it. Yeah, ever since you sent it to me, I absolutely love it.
Oh wow, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what's going on with that. My music career, I've always been into music, but I started being serious about it after I graduated college because I promised my mother that I would finish my education before I went into that. I fulfilled that goal. And when I started, it was pretty rough. And when I first started, I was just Tanay. And I had some issues with my dad, and I went to an attorney about it. And he decided to get the media on the case, and then boom, everyone knew who I was. All of a sudden, everybody knew whose daughter I was. And I did not want it that way. Mm-hmm. My father was managing me first. Because
God, when you're the daughter of Tito Jackson, of course, he's in the Jackson 5. You get that huge shadow. You wanted to make it on your own. Is that what you wanted to make it on your own?
I did because I needed to prove something to myself, and I needed to prove something to him because he was managing me first. And his ideas to me were a little bit old, and I was like, Daddy, this is a new generation. The things are not like this anymore. He said, no, you can't dress that sexy. You're little Tanay. What are people going to say when they see you like that? I said, well, how am I going to compete with all the other artists in my genre? I said, you're kind of living in the past. We could not agree on it. And he said, okay, since we can't agree with it, you do it on your own. So I did it on my own. I ended up getting major press. I ended up on the charts. And Take It Off happens to be my 6th single, and it's been number 3 on the national hip-hop college charts. And we're trying to get considered by Billboard. So I really did a lot on my own.
Yeah, you've had enormous success, and I mean that. I mean, you're the most successful Jackson. You're the one that's really carrying the torch, if you will, for the next generation. You're the only one that's doing that now.
Well, they were aware of that, which is why they brought me on the reality show, because my dad had the connections to the production company for the first Jackson reality show. So when the second one came around, it was about the second generation, and of course my brothers were whining, well, we need publicity, we need this, and why is Tanay getting this, and why is she, and they were just complaining.
Because you're more talented than they are. That's really what it comes down to. No insult to them, but you're more talented.
Well, they know that. They just don't want to accept it. I mean, but they've made it very clear that I'm doing more stuff than them, and they don't like it. So my father gave the show to them and let them rock out, and he did say, and this was a discussion amongst the family, let's get Tanay in here. She's more popular right now. You're going to need her. And you guys got to sit there and try to get along with her. And my father left to do a show, and they decided to call me in when he leaves or when my granddad leaves. And they did that because they know they wanted to do something corrupted. Because if my granddad was still in Cali and my dad was still there, they wouldn't be able to do what they want to do. And they wanted to vent and really punish me in some way, just because I'm doing something and getting praised for it.
What it comes down to today, I think, and see if you agree with me.
Hold on.
People are always go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. People are always envious of success, and they were envious of the success that you were having. That's the way I saw that on the show for sure. And I think I think most people could see right through that.
Right. Well, they didn't hide it. They made it clear. And, I mean, as of now, my career is actually stumped. Like, I had a lot of people that were jealous of me besides them. So when that reality show came out, they were like, oh, well, your brothers don't like you, and your father says you're not his kid, and, oh, so we're not going to do this. And they just don't want to give me any press. Right now they're in the media. They got something going on, but I must not be publicized.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but talent always shines through, and you have such incredible talent, and you are also just exude such an incredible sex appeal. I mean, you are such an incredibly sexy woman, and I want to encourage people to check out your new single for sure. Take It Off, and I really wish I could do this for you at the King's Castle right here on Lake Murray and sing to you directly. But since we're here on the show, before you go, Tanay, I have a very special song for you.
Okay.
And I've kind of customized this for you. Here we go.
Okay.
Love me, Tanay, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me, Tanay, love me true. All my dreams are real, for I know that I love you, and I always will. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. That's my little tune for you, Miss Tanay.